I lasted exactly 9 months. The day I quit wasn't because of the usual stuff, the mystery rashes we all got on our forearms, or how the ventilation was so bad you could taste the chemicals in your lunch. It was the corporate visit that did it. We got the email on a Monday. Regional leadership touring facility Friday, deep clean required. My supervisor Mark pulled me aside after the morning meeting, and I could tell by his face this wasn't going to be a normal inspection prep. Listen, he said, walking me toward the back storage area. We need to move some things around before Friday. The back storage area was where we kept everything that should have been thrown out months ago. Expired preservatives, discolored pigments, raw materials with Russian labels that nobody could read. There were barrels of something called fragrance base that had been sitting there since before I was hired, with expiration dates from 2019. We're going to move this to the off-site warehouse, Mark said, just for the week. I helped load the truck because, honestly, I needed the job. My daughter was starting college in 3 months, but here's what got me. After we loaded probably $40,000 worth of expired materials, Mark had us completely transform the production floor. We brought in plants, actual potted plants. We hung new safety posters still creased from the package. Someone bought fake vintage Edison bulbs to make the break room look employee-focused. The whole thing took 2 days. Friday morning, I barely recognized the place. Everything gleamed. The VP walked through with our plant manager, both wearing visitor badges and hard hats that had never seen actual work. They took photos in front of our clean room, which was just the regular packaging area we'd scrubbed for 6 hours the night before. The VP gave this whole speech about commitment to quality and industry-leading standards. She stood 5 feet from where I'd seen a batch of face cream fall off a conveyor belt last month, get scooped up with a dustpan, and dumped right back into the mixing vat. The supervisor's exact words were, "It's all getting heat-treated anyway," but the VP smiled and said we were setting the standard for ethical beauty manufacturing. I watched our plant manager nod along like he wasn't the same guy who'd approved using automotive-grade dye in our natural mineral blush because it was $3 cheaper per kilo. They left around 2 p.m. By 2:30, Mark called everyone to the production floor. "Great job, team. Really pulled together. Now let's get that truck unloaded and back to normal operations." I just stood there. "You're bringing it all back?" "Well, yeah," he laughed. "You think corporate's gonna pay for new materials? We've got quotas to hit. But it's expired. Some of that stuff is 5 years past date." Mark looked at me like I'd just suggested we shut down for a picnic. Makeup doesn't really go bad. The dates are just there for liability. You think the stores know the difference? That's when something in me snapped. I thought about my daughter, who'd been so excited to get that influencer's eyeshadow palette for her birthday. The same palette we'd made right here, probably with some of those Russian chemicals nobody could identify. "I'm not helping unload that truck," I said. Mark's face changed. "Then you can clock out, permanently." I took off my hairnet, dropped it in the trash, and walked out. On my way to the parking lot, I passed the truck. The driver was smoking a cigarette, leaning against barrels labeled Fragrance Compound, EXP March 2019. I got in my car and called my daughter. Told her to throw out every piece of makeup in her room. She thought I was having a breakdown. Maybe I was. But here's the thing nobody tells you. That factory makes the drugstore brands and the luxury brands. Same lines, same materials, different packaging. That $8 mascara and that $45 mascara, they came out of the same vat, probably on the same Tuesday, maybe even the same hour. I found a new job 3 weeks later. Pays less, but I can sleep at night. And I don't wear makeup anymore. Neither does my daughter. Some people think I overreacted. Maybe I did. But I was there when they brought those barrels back inside. I was there when Mark assigned them to be used in the next production run. And I know exactly which brands were scheduled for that week. You're probably wearing one of them right now.